Okay, hopefully not having at least not too bad of a seizure. But anyway, yeah, I probably am because that's why I'm talking to you on camera about movie ideas or show, actually, a series. I like the idea of a series. I've been having to watch movies and stuff to um, well, I've just had to because I'm essentially in prison right now, trapped on my stuck on my boat for health and other reasons, um, mostly because I want to stay alive. But anyway, I've had this idea for a series, in the format of a series. Um, my generation would know it as a mini series, um, but I'm best liking the comparison would be his Dark Materials versus Golden Compass. Don't ever do anything that I come up with in the format of anything resembling Golden Compass versus his Dark Materials. Jeez, I hope you people are ashamed of yourselves for that one. Anyway, yeah, Hollywood drama aside, I'm outside. Fuck you. So the idea is very simple. It's based on my reality, which is that I've lost memory of my past. And what this has caused me is most visibly, most affecting me, is problems with social. Because social is about memory. It's about remembering what you should or shouldn't say, when you shouldn't say it, when you should, blah, 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 blah. It's about remembering. And I had very little chance to do so, and what I did get was easily lost because it was so superficial. I was rejected socially, so it wasn't very easy to be social. So I had to go through great effort, and the period of my life that I lost the most of, which is completely gone still, is the period in which I decided to consciously become social. So it was my social development, which was in the early 90s. So yes, about 5 years after high school, I decided to start developing socially. I had to on my own. I wasn't given the opportunity otherwise. I'll pause and get it. But anyway, so the series is based on not this aspect of my memory loss and recollection. Because in the process of I can get these memories back, but how? What am I trying to remember? So yeah, exactly. So the premise is I don't know what I forgot. So I came up with this idea because I was just now thinking about and talking about being able to read music and not having to. That I'm enough of a genius that I can listen to songs among all the other things I can do, which is why I'm a genius. I can listen to music and be able to play it again without having to read notes or anything like that. I can just hear the notes, and play it. I learned bass guitar that way. I had a bass guitar when I got here on the boat, and I was practicing bass guitar, and I wanted to sure to hear me. I'm sure make fun of me for it, and, you too. I was playing bass guitar. You weren't. Who's making fun of who for what? Oh yeah, and I play bass guitar better than the idiots on shore. God damn. Well, some of them were okay. No, they weren't. No, so God damn. This place is so fucking shit. My God, it only survives as a tourist destination because they do everything they can to hide its reality. My God. Yes. Fucking shithole. Oh my God. Worst place for tourism in the world, hands down. That's considered a good place for tourism. It's just the worst good tourism there is. But anyway, back to the idea. I thought that's what we're talking about. The idea is I can do anything, but I don't remember what I can do. turn that into something, you know, Netflixy or BBC Four-ish or HBO. I don't even know how they designate themselves anymore, or whatever. Some series that's an hour long each month, of me realizing that I can, you know, or someone like me, whatever, some genius that lost his memory and suffered brain damage and lost his life's memories, and, you know, started off as a 5-year-old socially. What happened? And is having to get through very challenging life and very challenging situations and very heroic outcomes to these situations, as it should be on TV. You know, we can actually use some of my reality, but we'll have to tame it down for the benefit of the public, for the masses, because it just couldn't swallow. And it's got to be also believable. My reality isn't believable to anybody I've come across yet so far. So yeah, tame it down a little bit from you know, the whole of the Western, the network that really basically controls Western governments and others to a greater extent, the bureaucracy. Yeah, so, you know, fun with definitely having a seizure because I'm tasting like, I don't know if I should describe what I'm tasting. I think it's chicharrones, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so you know, kind of think of it like Quantum Leap, if you remember anything about that. Infinite just came out. You know, I remember I can do these things when I need to remember that I can do these things, or that I don't have to know how to do these things because I can do anything. You know, that's basically what it is. You know, make that some kind of drama and use some kind of plot. Shit, you know, one of the subplots of my life might work, you know, the save the planet stuff. You could use the whole of my plan, which is to leave the planet behind completely. That's my goal. I'd like to leave this planet behind. I'm thinking at this point, hitching a ride on an asteroid or something that's intergalactic bound until I can figure out something else for getting around. Because Sega inspired the idea that you can possibly do it in 54 years. So I'm 54 years old now, so know that I could have explored the entire universe in the time I've been alive, which I only remember 30 of those years, by the way, so I'd have to add like almost double what I remember, which isn't bad. But to know that I could have explored the whole universe just to waste my time on this planet. Yes. But I haven't wasted my time on this planet, because I used it to understand myself and where I come from. Everyone else. What I have to overcome to become what I need to become, to be able to overcome what I have to overcome to become what I am going to become. It makes sense, otherwise I couldn't have said it. Anyway, I am serious about this idea, though. It would be a great show. It's a great premise. I mean, think about it. The guy doesn't know he can do anything. The guy doesn't remember that he's done just about everything. You know, presently I'm living on a ship, sailing motor, sailing ship. But it could just as easily be I want it to one day be a space ship. That's self-sufficiency. It's not needing the planet to step outside and go, oh shit, this actually is toxic air, like that. I want my own air, I want my own environment, my controlled, stable, consistent. At the same time, I want to be able to easily and quickly adapt, be able to functionally visit other places. The notion of landing on a strange planet and just, oh yeah, it's breathable air. No way in hell would it ever be breathable air without, I think, Day the Earth Stood Still 2008. He biologically adapts, genetically adapts to the planet. Yeah, duh. What we're going to be taking with us when we leave the planet is a genetic tool set, which I hope includes everything. I don't want to really leave the planet until I know that I can or have already understood the genetic and protein questions, the details. I want to know. I want to speak GATC, coronary, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3 math and language based on base 4 instead of base 10. Why do we count based on the number of digits we have when we have, especially when we count much higher? We have 4 digits in our DNA that are already there in programs. So why didn't we learn the programming language and communication language based on what we already use? Our bodies use base 4, so why don't we? And I intend to learn that, and I'd like to leave the planet with a good tool set, because I believe that there are other tool sets elsewhere. I'd like to compare them. I'd like to see what they are. Genes are wonderful, magical tools that allow things to happen that they're impossible. They're absolutely impossible in the context of what the universe is. Think of your top half, or just not even the top half, the top fifth, whatever, of your periodic table. Going as no higher than well, I guess you go iron, but no. Just stay with the gaseous stuff. Stay with the gases and the lighter metals that would have been floating around in space to start forming protoplasts. To think from that, I can see, because DNA programmed the reconstruction of something that's been developing over billions of years that allows light from 3 different bands, if you see. Anyway, I'm trying to present out my 3 lights from 3 different bands of light, red, green, and blue, plus others which we see as black and white, or as white, or as gray, but shades of, but so what I lost that. Anyway, so the idea is I can except remember what the fuck I'm talking about. So you throw that in as a handicap or whatever for balancing the story, because can't make them. Well, I guess they can these days. I'm thinking about what they put out these days. The stories are just so fantastic. It's just, whoa, hey, stop, take a break, step back a bit, and calm down. It's like I've seen so many movies that just the simple plot just turns into this chaotic mess of one-upmanship. The precedent is, for those of my generation, is Disney's Black Cauldron, which was just this complicated mess of plot. That was just, I mean, there were, I think we counted 7 sidekick characters when there's usually maybe 2. And we're not talking the 7 dwarves; they weren't sidekicks; those were supporting characters. We're talking sidekicks like Goofy, Dopey was a sidekick character. One of the dwarves, he was a sidekick, you know. But the Black Cauldron had, we counted, I think, 7 or something like that, or 9 even. So that was like this complicated mess. But that's like nothing compared to what's coming out these days. I mean, I can't keep track of this shit. I could barely keep track of movies from my generation due to my brain damage. But this shit is just, what? And then what? And what? And then, you know, and I fall asleep. I think I'm waking up like a half an hour later, and I look at it, it's 3 minutes, and what? What? 6 people died, and there's a whole new character set, and there's a different plot, subplot, and the previous main plot is now what? In 3 minutes? And this isn't Quentin Tarantino? Oh, it is. No, it isn't. No, actually, his was quite tame. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's the last one we watched. It was pretty good. What was the best was watching it not knowing it was him until the end. That was the best. I went into it thinking it was Coen Brothers, because we'd watched one of them earlier. We watched like 5 movies in a row that had Brad Pitt and a couple other people in it. It was just fuck. You know, and 2 of them were Burn After Reading, and then something serious after that. Oh yeah, it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You know, younger and older. Until the end. But the you know, the difference in his acting between Burn After Reading and the other one was just stark. But it was like shit like that. Like, you know, I never. I was gonna say I've never acted, but I can't say that because I seem to remember doing some. I know I was in some kind of a play in 3rd grade, but I was a cardinal, the bird, and my big thing was the costume. But apparently, I did something too. I think I was in a couple of plays, or I don't know. I do remember though that we did a Dungeons and Dragons campaign that was so well done that it was written into a book. I don't. Monica, Jeff, her husband, Monica. Jeff and Monica is all I remember. I remember snippets of the campaign, and I could probably verify it. You know, once I started reading page 1, tell you what the rest of the whole fucking book said, if it was written true to the story or true to the campaign. Anyway, because I remember that well, and that's what it takes, just a trigger. You know, it's this flood of memories. It's great visual. I have this. One of the gifts I have as a genius is this ability to visualize, and the shit they portray you on TV is about what people can visualize. You know, like in, for example, Lucy. For example, Guy Ritchie and Nick Besson's version of the 2 versions of the Sherlock Holmes films. You know, where time slows down and you know, all the things he says he's gonna do. You know, those are all gimmicky, but fall short actually of how it really is. I mean, I literally can see better when I close my eyes. You know, I walk around in this boat, which, you know, you walk up over a step on a slope deck. You walk up and over a step. Let's just walk in. No, I'm not gonna do that. But you know, you're different levels. There's obstacles, and I know where everything is without looking. I can see better at night in the dark than I can in the day. And if I ever hit my head, guess what time of the day it is? Daylight. Always hit my head in daylight because I'm looking with eyes that I can't see right now. Not as well as I can see with them shut. Honest truth. So, I mean, you know, do something about, you know, write a series or something about me, about this aspect of me. You don't all drawing shit you don't want. I don't care. Just, you know, it's fucking cool. You know, that's all. It's just fucking cool that I can do this shit. You know, living example. I was in a marina in my first sailboat after my first time on the ocean, which included my first time in any kind of inclement weather, which was supposed to have been 22 knots or less, and ended up being 45 knots, possibly more, and a breaking wave that I'm on a boat that's 67 feet long, 5 feet above the water line at the beam where I'm at, which is 15 and a half feet wide. It's a big ass fucking boat. And I looked up at this fucking wave breaking over me. Okay, it scared the shit out of me and literally out of my dog and everything out of everywhere in the boat. So yeah, it was fucking scary as yeah, it was scary. But you know, I did all that. You know, it was my first time on the ocean, and it was after only 2 hours of experience sailing this thing. Seriously, I spent 2 hours in the bay, all the sails up, did one run down, one run back up. Okay, I'm ready. And then I sailed 3 days to Bodega Bay, including through motoring through 45 knot winds with a 6 to 8 foot west swell, fighting 5 to 7 or probably bigger northwest wind waves, and a breaking swell wave. It was a swell plus wind wave combination. You know, the swell was I think a 4 quadruple harmonic, so 4 waves combined. So it was, you know, breaking wave. I guessed it at 15 feet. Literally, the boat lid. But anyway, so you know, I live on a boat. You could put it in space. What I want to do. You know, I haven't seen anywhere. There's just so much you could do with something like this. It's fucking amazing. It's fucking fun. You know, I just described what I did. I spent 2 hours sailing this boat and said, okay, I'm ready. And I sailed out of the fucking ocean. Literally, the Pacific fucking Ocean. You know, I was in a river. I was in the fucking the river in Stockton. What's the name of it? Probably Stockton River. I don't know. But I was in that river, and then I motored down to Antioch, and then I motored down to the bay and tried to sail with what I could to the marinas in the bay, and I had to go back up because I couldn't sail because only my front centerboard went down, so I didn't sail except with the forward sail, so I wasn't sailing. I didn't have centerboards. So, and then I motored back to the bay a couple weeks later after I got the other centerboard working. I spent 2 hours sailing down the bay, back up the bay, an hour each way, give or take, obviously. And then I went into the marina and broke my drive shaft. The shear bolts broke because I put it in reverse instantly, like an idiot, and it crashed into the seawall and steel dented bowsprit and scraped a little cement off the front of the boat, and then went out to the Pacific Ocean the next morning and anchored at Stinson Beach the first night and Point Reyes the second night, and then went out 9 a.m. down to the corner into 25 knots of wind, which built up to 45 knots by the end of the day. And that's my experience sailing this boat. Oh, by the way, did I mention my crew? I had one crewman. He was 21 years old at the time. He had never been on a boat before. He was on the bowsprit, bouncing up and down about how much fun it was, until it wasn't as much fun. Then it built up to 30, 35, and 45 knots. It wasn't fun at all. He was in there in the pilot house with me. I was white knuckled. I was on that wheel for 6 or 9, I don't remember, hours. I think it was 9. And didn't pee the whole fucking time because I couldn't leave the wheel the whole fucking time. So imagine how full my bladder was that fucking day. I pissed for 3 fucking minutes going into Bodega Bay. If you know going into Bodega Bay, I pissed the whole way in. Okay, maybe 2/3 of the way. It's 5 fucking miles or some shit like that going into that fucking harbor. Fuck, it's long. And I pissed the whole fucking way. And, God. But, yeah. Never done it before. And the whole, as it was building up and whatnot, all I could think was, I have to keep going. There's nothing I can do. What am I going to do? Turn around and go back? And what? Then have to run with the weather instead of going into it? No. I have to continue forward. It's the safer path. I can't go to shore. There's no shelter. Shelter is forward or back. There's no choice. Although there was a choice. Go deeper. I went deeper. I apparently went over Elephant Rock, and or near Elephant Rock, and that had something to do with it. And I think that otherwise it was, it was always, it was the biggest thing on my mind too when I went out there was the freaking waves. And guess fucking what? The story I read in the version 4th edition of Heavy Weather Sailing that I have, a 27-foot boat got hit by the same wave that I got hit by. That's 40 feet shorter than this one, made of fiberglass, not cement like this one. This is 48 tons. That was probably 4,800 pounds. How many survivors do you think there were in that boat? That's right. Exactly that many. It was crushed by a freak-breaking wave about 15 feet high and about 45 knots of wind. And I got this shit scared out of us and off of all my shelves and everywhere, and about 150 gallons of water in my fucking tool room with all my tools and hardware in the fucking bilges down the floor. So, that's the kind of shit that could be in this kind of series, And what's the goal? What's the real plot here? I don't know. It's kind of a community thing. Let's figure this out. But as far as what I'm doing, I'm using it to survive what the fuck I'm going through, what I'm being put through, and trying to get away from society so I don't have to deal with anybody anymore. And so I can hopefully concentrate on trying to build a spaceship and get off the planet. And right now, my idea for a launch vehicle, I've described it elsewhere, but basically I'll briefly describe it as my perception is using a wing-shaped launch vehicle using ramjets, go to the highest point of the oxygen-containing atmosphere at the high tide on the equator using the helium balloon, then quickly suck in that helium and then ride down the wave of the high tide of the atmosphere and until you have enough velocity to start the ramjet, hopefully time it so you're riding back up the other wave, and then once you have enough velocity, hopefully launch off of that other wave, and hopefully, ideally have enough velocity to get into space. And that should use precious little fuel and allow for significantly more weight. but I'm also thinking because it's a very lightweight and cheap shell of a vehicle that you need to use multiple times or multiple can be made and launched simultaneously to allow conjunction of supplies, equipment, whatever to build or whatever is needed to construct to have the vessel to get to whatever is going to be gotten to, if so, to move myself around the universe. But that could be fun. That's my idea. That's my plan. I'm thinking, assuming because of how things are going to go with the way the climate is being treated, I'm going to have to set up a base on Antarctica or something like that. Starting off in an area close to there, in the southern hemisphere, so I can quickly get back down there and claim my portion and build my base and do my thing, get off this planet. And, like I said, that would be the launch vehicle, and I think the target at this point would be a transgalactic asteroid or planetoid or whatever body that we could hijack and use as our transportation. Hitch a ride. Anyway, that's the idea there. Meantime, get the hell out of society, get on my boat, have my little ranch where I can grow my meat, and wait for shit to do what it's going to do so I can start doing what I need to do to get out there. Take my genetic knowledge with me and go gather more of it. And try and evolve, adapt to, and develop myself to be able to survive anywhere in the universe. And hopefully anywhere outside of it. Because that's my ultimate goal, is to look at the universe from the outside and see it. And say, hey, I was in there. Or I am. Anyway, make a movie about it. Make a series. Call me a associate producer if you want, or whatever. Or a script consultant. Good night.